Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD, and we've been running down on this channel for how long, and now we've had this big breakthrough through the channel, and there's just so much noise going on in the US markets right now, and a lot of things which I'm just scratching my head and going, okay. So markets are manipulated by politicians, we all know that. And it's just really strange how the politicians came to a decision early yesterday when they'd been telling everybody that they hate it, they don't like it, and they'll fight it tooth and nail. And we were all expecting it to go into the weekend. But they came to a pretty quick decision yesterday morning, and right before non-farm payrolls. Why would you think that happened? Anyway, we do have non-farm payrolls today. We have had a bit of a pullback onto structure. The trend has been down, and I am going to say at the moment that we have potential here for a breakout brewing, and this would be the double bottom structure here, breaking the trend line. So that is the area 107,470. Personally, I think you need to stay away from the dollar until non-farm payrolls is out. Everything is looking like a fairly decent setup for a long at the moment with all the noise that's in the market. However, it could also be a trap. Okay, so let's just watch the data. I think that's the wisest thing to do. So based on the data, you've got two areas. You've got, I'm just going to put both levels in here. The zone we have there. Right, so you have this area here at 107,470, which could be defended, or pull back a little bit deeper into 107,142, and that would be an opportunity to buy. So the data is good. Look for the structure you'll be buying, and then this is the potential for a trend reversal that is brewing. Your target, obviously, you're going to be looking for the next level to the upside, and that would be something like this at 107,857. But wait for the data before you do anything. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, and we are now kind of breaking through this previous level here. But look at my oscillators, they're all grouped to the downside, so this is still boding well for a move to the up. We are in the upward trend. Let me go to the weekly. You can see a bit of a weekly inside bar forming, but not really off structure. It's in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, trend is up. This could be the lower high that is going to form for a bigger move down, but obviously we need to start breaking below these lows before that comes into play. So the higher time frame is a little bit different. So let's just look at it from an hour perspective. Nice rounding top here on the hour. So again, wait for the data. You know, if it is good data, it'll be bad for the dollar. So it's going to be 139, 144, and then you're going to have 138, 924. But I'd prefer to be watching the Euro USD out of these two pairs because this one is a really strong uptrend. So difficult to actually see what's going on. And you can see it's reluctant sellers here. Anyway, this is a sit on hands for me. So moving on to British pound, Japanese yen, and there's still nothing going on here. We are sideways, we are ranging in a strong uptrend, and we're just drifting in a range basically. So if you look at the 1 hour, you'll see it even clearer. So see why we're defending this area at the top here, and then we're coming in off the bottom. So sit on hands for me. I'm not really keen to try and second guess this. Obviously, we're trying to do something for the hanging man on the weekly. Actually, that's a nice little bit of price action insight there. See the hanging man on the weekly. If you come back to the 3 hour on the weekly, look at this, tails to the upside, tails to the downside, lots of indecision, barbed wire. Come down to the daily, and then you look at it across the week and you see exactly all the tails there, complete confusion, and it's forming a hanging man. So yeah, that is not bullish by any means. So anyway, I will sit on the sides. But obviously, we need to drop below the low of this week for that hanging man to take place, and it could trigger a bigger sell-off. But at the moment, we are just extremely overbought, and I don't really want to be jumping in long up there. Moving on to Euro British Pound. Trade played out pretty well yesterday. Those were the levels we looked at. We need to be on the weekly. You now need to start paying attention to the oscillators here. So you've had a fairly strong move down this week. You've had a couple of really decent trades to the downside, but now we've grouped to the downside here. So you need to be very cautious about continuing short right now. So yesterday we were looking for a retest of this area here at 086, 004. We got it, and we got to move down to the next level again. So if you just get down to the 15-minute, there's my level there. There's not really anything else, so all you need to do is just look for the next logical space, and it's these two bars here. See, there was a rejection, and then we had a second move above, inside bar, just above the structure, so not entirely, how do I put it, not entirely the best setup in the world, but nevertheless, we are in a downward trend, and that's pretty much what happened. If you go to the 5-minute, you probably would have seen there would have been a bit of 5-minute structure in that area. No, nothing. Interesting. Anyway, this for me at the moment is definitely not something I want to be playing with. So could be a retest of this and just go sideways, or retest, build a base, and then start turning around to come and test some highs based on the 8-hour, and that would be all the way up here in this previous breakout, which is at 086507. So I'm very reluctant to continue short at the moment, and you might as well just get to the weekly, because that level that we had there, or was it on the monthly? Let me just check here. No, it was on the weekly. So the level, the target that we hit was the next weekly level, which is here. The logic says you look for a pullback and then another rejection and another attempt at it. So I'm sitting on hands in this. So anyway, Forex for me is going to get interesting on the dollar, especially the Euro USD, depending on the data today. And then the pound, we are still waiting for some catalyst. And there has been a few catalysts this week, which just didn't really drive the market in any real direction. So that's kind of my view for the day. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend.